there's a book that I read called Looking Glass Sound. And this one was in my video for TBR for April. I believe it is the only book from my April TBR that I read, which is really sad since we only picked 5 as it is. But I'm lucky because this book, and I know it's an ARC, so no one can actually go and read this. I believe it comes out in August. It's technically horror. I have not read anything by Catriona Ward. So Looking Glass Sound by Catriona Ward. I loved this book. I don't give 5 stars. Rarely ever. If I love something, I'll give it 4 stars, but something has to basically overwhelm me, and I just love it to pieces to be able to give it 5 stars. And this book is it. I cherished this book. I felt like it was just very well written, but the best part about this, when I say well written, it's not just the language. Talking about how the plot was decided and how she put this together, because it's just so, I feel like it's so intricate and it's different than most books that I've read. And if you like David Lynch and Twin Peaks and Twilight Zone and weird things, because it's not violent horror, it's more about a horror in terms of there is murder involved, but it's horror because it's like those life situations that no one would want to experience. Being around a murderer and having to worry about who a murderer is killing, and the fact that this murderer has killed people around you in a small town. So this is about 3 friends, and they're 16 years old during a summer, and Wilder is the main narrator. And it starts to turn into mind-bending territory because he writes about his story, but then it ends up that someone else takes his story from him when he's in college and they release it as their own. And then he goes to write his own story himself yet again. And it's really hard to describe this book. It's one of those books that you have to experience. And the characters, especially Wilder, I loved Wilder, but his relationship with the friends during that summer, and then when they're older and they come back kind of together, it's just, there's no words for this. I just love this book so much, and everyone needs to put this on their TBR. If you love horror or a thriller, anything psychological, mind-bending, this book is definitely going to check all of your boxes, and I highly, highly, highly recommend this book.